the latest from Long Island.
Recording here?
No, the recording pictures here at all. I'm in a federal building.
Is it why? Is it against the law?
It's against the law. It is. This is a federal building.
If you want,
You're
you
now
can.
trespassing.
If you want, you can read the rules.
You can either leave.
You can read the rules.
You can leave, or I can have the police come and talk to you.
Oh, our hero's here again. We got Officer Nanny. Come and talk to you. Somewhere in this post office, there is actual federal law that protects the rights of journalists to gather content. So I always love it when they say it's against federal law when there's federal law verbatim on the wall on poster 7.
Do you choose to identify yourself to
No.
put you in the report?
No. Hey, what's up, guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. Today, we are at the United States Post Office here in Ravenna, Ohio. We are here today to peacefully exercise our First Amendment right to film in public and publicly accessible areas, to promote transparency and accountability within our government, and to ensure that they not only respect our rights, but treat us, the people, with respect.
What a beautiful building. It's like a mixture of classical and Victorian almost. I just noticed it's actually the postmaster that calls the police. Oh boy. And looks like the police committed USC 18242, deprivation of rights under color of law. So we'll have to file another complaint, at least one, with the FBI, but not that it does anything. The FBI is more interested in raiding Project Veritas because someone sent them Joe Biden's daughter's diary, which they didn't publish and gave to the police. Why the FBI would have to raid them when it was given to the police and they didn't publish it, I don't know. Does anybody know? Did someone tell me? Is the FBI Joe Biden's private police force? Do they have a conflict of interest investigating into a case dealing with Joe Biden's daughter? I'll let you decide.
Let's get into it.
It's still asking me. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, recording something? Sir.
Okay, why not deal with the customers in front of you? First thing, just, someone from a customer service background. You deal with the people in front of you before, you maybe smile, say welcome to the other person, but you don't see someone recording and then ask them if they're recording. It's pretty obvious, but I guess things that are self-evident, like rights, are not self-evident to these people, or seeing someone recording, that's not self-evident, apparently.
Yes.
Okay, you're not allowed to do anything.
I can't record.
No, you're not allowed.
Recording here?
You're not allowed to record take pictures here at all. I'm in a federal building.
At all. Nope, no pictures whatsoever. I wonder if he'll look at poster 7 or if he'll just refuse.
Is it why? Is it against the law?
It's against the law. It is. Yeah, if you get the town to list of things you can't do.
Oh, you mean the conduct on postal property?
Yeah.
Yeah, that says I have permission to film.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Supervisor, keep coming up.
Huh, well, at least he didn't argue. That's good.
They're so quick to say that it's illegal.
He even points out poster 7 to the citizen. That's hilarious. Like, if you read poster 7, it says, specifically, there's a section about photographs. So
We film in a federal building.
but there's a section about photographs when it says that journalists are allowed to record, or citizens, since every citizen is a journalist, or every person. God gave us the right to gather and disseminate information, if there is a God.
Yeah. Can I get a stamp?
I have to ask you to turn it off on me. I don't want to be in any video.
Oh, but you work for the public. I'm just.
You don't have to ask him to turn it off. You are asking him to turn it off. By choice. Not by duty. By duty, you're bound to actually ignore the camera, or at least not try to impede it. But rights and responsibilities are far from people's mind. I wonder what this guy does when he goes home.
Holding you accountable. That's all.
Well,
You're a federal worker.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to presume what his problems are in the rest of his life, or in anyone's. I know there's enough problems that are put onto people by systems, so he does seem much less animated than the previous security guard that wanted to phone the police. He seems very defeated almost. Doesn't want to argue, just wants to say what he wants to say, and if he gets conflicting information, he'll just ignore it. And I've heard that wisdom is believing what you see, and whatever isn't wisdom is believing what you think.
I can ask what you're using it for.
Huh? Sure,
What are you using it
and I'll tell you what I'm using it for. I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
Do you have any credentials or anything?
I don't need credentials to be an independent journalist.
What agency issues press credentials exactly, sir?
I'm just gathering content for a story.
58 cents.
Did you read the?
Yeah, so you have to do it by local postmaster or unless you're a news agency.
Yeah, I am a news agency.
And with no credentials. That's amazing.
The Constitution.
Anybody can walk in and say that.
Yeah, for sure, because we have freedom.
Well, anyone can walk in and say that. Yeah, that's the point. It's a right given to all life to gather and disseminate information. What don't you get about it? Anyone could walk in here and say that. Exactly.
Freedom of press in this country, sir. You heard of the freedom of press?
Yeah, I also heard credentials too. How do I know you actually say you are?
Well, everybody has freedom of press, not.
So maybe that's why they're shutting down funerals and churches, because you now need credentials for your rights. Big Brother's gotta permit you to have rights, at least in this guy's perfect world. Oh boy, there's a lot of work to do, a lot of very silly opinions to change. I think what it is this guy really doesn't think about health and well-being of himself and his community, and so that's where his very self-centered worldview is coming from. Like, even though he read Poster 7, he's still saying, well, the press doesn't apply to you. He's changing the definition in order to fit his feelings. Or, our rulers do, change definitions to escape responsibility, and people do it for the same reasons. He doesn't want to have to say he was wrong. He doesn't want to accept responsibility that his feelings are counter to fundamental rights in the country that he loves so much. He doesn't want to be so removed from the ideals that bind the people of America together. And so when his views don't align, he cannot see it that way. He's too fragile. His sense of self is too fragile. And, it shows by how he conducts his everyday life. He doesn't care about health, safety of himself. And if you can't do it for yourself, then how can you do it for other people?
Not just people with credentials, sir. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's our manager. You have to have an ID.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get any ID.
Why not?
Because why would I?
Now he wants ID? Like, what is this? You do see in Stop a Douchebag a lot of the time. The citizens will ask the other citizens for ID. So I guess it is a thing for people around the world just to want to see other people's ID when they don't agree with what they're doing. Even if it's legal and lawful and they're being completely professional and courteous while conducting legal and lawful behavior.
I don't need to.
Because if we ask for it, you're filming, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna give ID. You're calling who? You do what you need to do. What's your name?
What's your name?
Your name is you have your name tag on. I can't see it.
Help us next, please.
Can I get your name, sir?
I want to file a complaint. Can I get your name?
I can't get your name. Are you a supervisor here? Are you a supervisor?
Ooh, public servant that doesn't want to identify on top of it. See, what did I say? Someone says something you don't agree with, I'm going to ignore you. And why does not giving your name show that you want to be responsible for your actions, or that you don't want to take responsibility for your actions? It's the shame. Again, he's so ashamed that his behavior and his feelings are misaligned with the forces that bind a country together. He can't deal with it. He just has to ignore it, just like he ignores the aluminum in the skies, just like he ignores or doesn't ignore the urge to get McDonald's after work and before work. Look at him, defeated. What a sad, defeated expression. This is what 3 generations of intentional toxification of the brain, body, and soul does. And going after America, also going after the colonies, where the Europeans finally settled, going after us first. You can see how it could be necessary, especially with America, with such a they've rejected the kings, They're the king. They're the sovereign. A lot of work to do, and not a lot of time to do it.
I guess he doesn't want to give me his name. This guy doesn't want to give me his name.
And are these all in this?
You know, most of the sheets.
Okay,
I don't know why he's being so rude.
along with that, I think I can have a sample of this.
This one?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe COVID's taking care of people like this. Maybe it's all for the best anyway.
Sir, can I ask why you're videotaping before I have to leave?
And you can see with statistics with compounding comorbidities, that's who's really suffering from death with COVID. Death with COVID is what the statistics are. So people who have COVID and die in a car crash are included. Oh no, this was hospitalizations with COVID. So again, they could be hospitalized for some other reason if they count it towards COVID, just because they have it, even if it's symptomless. Oh, what a shit show.
Please come and remove you.
Hey.
You're not allowed to film inside a federal building.
Okay.
Yes, you are. And you're especially allowed to film inside. Oh my god. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. There's 15 minutes left of this. I don't know if I can take it. I don't know. Critical Role's coming on soon.
First of all, de-escalate a little bit.
I'm just asking because they've asked
No,
me for credentials.
you started yelling at me.
I'm asking you what you're doing. What's your
Okay.
purpose?
Well, the way to do it is, hi sir, how are you? Can I help you with something?
I'm asking you, you have credentials?
Huh, wow. Maybe Long Island Audit once worked in customer service as well. What is he asking him for?
I don't know who you are.
Credentials. I would really love some cameras to try this. And, like, when people ask me for credentials, be like, oh, what government agency issues press credentials?
You are, sir?
I'm the postmaster.
You're the postmaster of this post office?
Yes.
Okay.
Why,
Do I
you
have...
cannot film without an appointment.
And it's interesting, in Canada there's actually more protection for public photography. It extends to places where the public's allowed even on private property when it's matters of public interest. So that's just interesting to note.
It has to go through our press, so I'm just asking why you're filming. Do you have credentials?
No, I'm news media. I'm an independent journalist. I'm working on a
You
story.
have to schedule an appointment to videotape inside a federal building.
That's not what the conduct.
Okay, do you have credentials?
Do I have credentials?
Yes.
No, I don't have any credentials.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
But why if I don't need credentials? I have freedom of
Because I
press.
just needed
No, you're not going to have to ask him to leave. You don't have to ask him to leave. You're choosing to ask him to leave. Rights and responsibilities. You're duty bound to protect his right to film, yet you're saying you have to ask him to leave. What you have to do and what you're duty bound, I guess, are two completely different things. I thought they were the same thing, but apparently not. Not for Jim over here, if you've been playing Back 4 Blood.
reason.
I have freedom of press.
If not, I'm going to have police remove you from the building.
I have freedom of press, sir.
You're inside of a federal building.
Yeah.
You have to schedule an appointment to videotape.
That's not what the conduct, the rules and regulations governing conduct on postal property.
Credentials?
So if I had credentials, I wouldn't need an appointment. Is that what you're telling me? But that's not what it says on the rules and regulations governing
I'm telling you
conduct.
the rules and regulations I'm aware of. If I'm asking you to leave the premises, it's a federal building.
If you want,
you're
you
now
can.
trespassing.
If you want, you can read the rules.
You can either leave.
You can read the rules.
You can leave, or I can have the police come and talk to you.
Well, I'm not going to leave. This is a public building. I'm conducting business.
That's it. I'm calling my hero. Just turn your back on the citizen while they're talking. Go ahead. Yep. It's not like you work for them or are beholden to them in any way. It's not like in the course of your duties, the Supreme Court protects the citizen's right to record you, and disseminate the information. Nope, none of that.
You're not coming.
Yes, I am. I'm looking. What was I doing when you came over? Looking at these cards, right? Yeah, videotaping the cards. Everybody just wants to call the police. You're a postmaster, but you don't know your own rules and regulations. I don't understand. So if I want to get one of these cards over here, I can't get one now?
Yeah, sure.
I can?
Yeah, if you
But the
want
postmaster was just yelling at me, telling me to leave.
Oh, you want to purchase something? You can purchase then. You can leave.
Interesting. Yeah, but do I have a time frame? I'm looking
Hurry up and buy.
at all the cards.